Wase, my beautiful people, this is your boy Stefan, your Afro-Grenadian ambassador. I welcome you all back to my channel. Guys, thank you so much for the love and the support. My channel members, I really appreciate you. And my viewers, subscribers, thank you all very much. And don't forget to watch all the ads that are placed on my video. Well, guys, in today's video, we have a woman who has been trending. You know, she is the president of the Inter-Parliamentary Union. Okay, and this African woman right here on my screen, you know, has been a lioness. She has get international world attention because of a powerful speech, you know, addressing the hypocrisy, the deliberate hypocrisy and sabotage tactics of the Western powers, you know, and she was exposed, you know, the Western powers for being the dictators of who they are and hiding behind the mask of democracy. Man, brothers and sisters, I tell you, this woman was an African lioness indeed, and she tear everything apart, you know, and she was very bold and courageous, and I want to compliment her for standing up against the West and not being intimidated. You know, she did not play with them. She did not play with them. She did not waste any time in, you know, addressing the hypocrisy. And she made it very clear in her speech that I will meet who I want to meet and you will not dictate me. So guys, let's listen to what she has to say. Yeah, what this powerful African woman, you know, has to say in her speech concerning a response. This is based on a response of a concern from one of the members that that was not happy with her meeting President Putin, and in response to that concern, this is what she said. Let's take a listen.
Colleagues, a concern was raised by Iraq in respect of the report that I've just given you, and Iraq was questioning why did I visit Russia in the context of the war in Ukraine and not Gaza. I would like to inform my colleague that you might note that in November last year, I visited Palestine and I visited Israel and I met the leaders. And that was my first visit after becoming president in October. So it's not like I have ignored what is happening in the Middle East, what is happening in Lebanon, what is happening in Gaza, and what happened in Israel. So I treat all the conflicts the same way. And you might also want to note the conflicts that we are talking about in the Middle East, the war that we are talking about in Ukraine, they are not the only conflicts that IPU is looking at. We are concerned about what is happening in Yemen. We are concerned about what is happening in Syria. We are concerned about what is happening in Sudan. We are concerned about what is happening in West Africa.
Yeah, and you know, this is one of the things that the Western powers continue to do. You know, they do Ukraine, the situation that is happening between Ukraine and Russia is not the only conflict that is taking place, as she said, you know. And what the Western powers wanted her to do is to bring all the attention, you know, on Ukraine, that Ukraine should get all the attention. And she made it clear, Ukraine is not the only country that is going through issues. We have African countries that are going through their issues, you know, and she listed them. This is not the first time she have been doing this kind of things. You know, she have met with Israel, she have met with Palestine, she have met with all, you know, the unstable regions that are going through their difficulties. You know, so she have made it clear is that, you know, I have met with Ukraine, I have met with Israel and all the Western allies. So why it is a problem if I meet with someone who the Western powers do not favor? And guys, you know, it is said that Ukraine does not treat black people well. You know, a lot of Africans were discriminated, you know, when they were in Ukraine, when before the invasion of Russia, and there was a lot of Africans there studying and whatever it is that they were there to do. They were discriminated. They were treated badly, you know. So it goes to show that the Western powers are very, very hypocritical. They are very hypocritical, and they continue to cast a blind eye on the real issues. They continue to cast a blind eye. They only favor those who they love. And what sense does it make to have organizations, you know, that they create themselves, saying that we are there to bring peace and stability and democracy, and at the end of it all, or behind closed doors, they are the ones that wants to dictate how things should go. It cannot work like that. And we see this bold African woman is addressing this issue. So let's continue to listen to what she's saying.
We are concerned about what is happening in DRC. Lithuania asked specific questions. Who mandated you to visit Russia? Why not Ukraine first? The letters were sent out, dear colleagues. The letters were sent very explicitly. They explained, and if you need copies of those letters because they are not secret.
So guys, can you see the discrimination here? You see, Lithuania, I think that was a country that asked raised up the concern about her being the president of the Interparliamentary Union, confronting her and saying, who mandated you, you know, to do what you did in meeting Putin and certain places that they do not like, Russia in particular. You know, you see, as though because she's black, maybe because she's an African, it's like she don't have authority to do anything, you know. So you see, it goes to show how these people, you know, because Lithuania is a strong ally of the West, so they are all part of the Western allies and the Western powers. You know, it goes to show that how these people continue to look down on us as Africans and black people, as though we are the ones that are supposed to take in orders from them. We are like little children. We're dependent upon them. We shouldn't be independent. You know, we shouldn't make decisions on our own.
You can always have copies. Letters were sent to our counterparts in Ukraine. Letters were sent to our counterparts in Russia. My visit was to begin with Ukraine. Ukraine responded the dates that we were ready to visit them. Mr. Zelensky and Mr. Speaker would be in New York for the NATO meeting. Would I have stopped them? No. It wouldn't be wise. In any case, I don't have such powers. Now, because the meeting of BRICS was taking place, would I stop going to Russia because Ukraine is not ready to receive me because of time? No. Why? Because IPU stands for dialogue. IPU is talking about parliamentary diplomacy. And it is in that context that I did all that I did. And I thought I would be given a little credit for all the efforts that I've done, not to be crucified for things that I have not. You're asking here who mandated me. Who mandated the former president who came from the 12+ to visit Kiev? Who mandated him? Please, I think we have to reach a point where I have explained myself several times to you 12+, to everybody else who cared to understand.
But that is so true. As she asked that, they're asking her, who mandated you? You know, that is the question, who mandated you? But there are certain people, you know, or who mandated her. There are certain people that do things, and they don't ask them a question. They don't ask them this kind of question, who mandated you? But when it comes to an African, you know, person, when it comes to an African woman or African man, you know, that is, you know, leading the charge, making an example, making a difference, and leading by example, you know, these people thinks that such positions of leadership, influence on a world stage shouldn't be ours to enjoy. They are the ones that should be dictating And she gave a very good kudos to this woman. She gave a very good response that when this particular individual came from the 12 plus, right? And they went to certain nations, certain leaders and meet them. Why didn't you ask them that same question? So it only goes to show the how hypocrite, you know, and manipulative these people are.
If you have a feeling like I went to Russia without going to Ukraine first, I have told you several times, letters were sent out. I wouldn't turn out my visit to Russia because I'm unable to reach Ukraine. You didn't ask me similar questions when I visited Israel, did you? You didn't ask me similar questions when I visited Palestine, did you? You're not going to ask me similar questions when I visit other places. I think, colleagues, let's have trust. You have elected a president who is supposed to deliver to her mandate.
Well said, guys. You know, this woman, my God, she have crushed, you know, she have crushed the hypocrisy and exposed these people in that speech. Because she said, when I met Israel, you didn't ask me that question, but I'm meeting Putin, I'm meeting leaders, right, who the West normally, you know, have put a stigma upon. You ask me who mandated me, you know? And it only goes to show, isn't Russia, you know, a country? Isn't Russia a nation? You know, and you know, guys, it really, this woman have put the hammer on the on the head of the nail. You know, guys, she have really crushed the West there. So, guys, that is amazing. What, you know, the how this woman have articulated her speech is very much amazing. Let's continue to listen a few bit more, and then we will take it from there.
You have elected a president who is supposed to deliver to her mandate, and I think you are dealing with me unjustifiably, which is not fair to anybody. The questions that you have been raising, I have responded them to the best of my knowledge and to the best of my objectivity in all this matter. And you must know, I would not have asked to meet Mr. Putin if it wasn't for Ukraine. My commitment to doing that, and this is not the first place I'm visiting. Why is it that it's looking like I have met this person and therefore the president of IPU has all of a sudden become a monster? Please treat me with dignity the same way I am treating you with dignity.
Well said, man. I am proud. I am proud of this woman, and I am pretty much sure Africa is proud. The Caribbean is proud. I am proud of this woman, and she have really flattened the West with her speech. And everyone, I believe this speech have now opened the eyes of those who have chose to be ignorant of the hypocrisy of the West. Yes. So she's saying, treat me with dignity. This is not fair treatment. You are not treating me fairly. The reason why I met with Russia is because of Ukraine, you know, and it is really curry favor, as we say here in the Caribbean. It is not fair that you meet with one leader and you don't meet with the other, you know. And as you see, guys, that most of these Western leaders, when they go addressing the issues that is in Ukraine and Russia, they meet with only the Ukrainian leader, and we only hear it from a Ukrainian side. But here in the Caribbean, we always say whenever there is an issue, it is good to hear the story on both sides of the coin. We have to hear what the version of Putin, why Putin invaded Ukraine. You know, we have to hear why did he do it. But no, they only meeting one particular leader, and we only hearing President Zelensky, you know, and we're not hearing Russia's side. And the Western powers continue to present Ukraine as though they are the victims, you know. But I'm pretty much sure there's a reason why Putin invaded Ukraine. I mean, in this modern day and age, you know, countries don't just invade countries. Like, look, America themselves. America invaded how much nations? And they always come up with some reason why they did it. And most of the time they say it's because their interest, you see the hypocrisy? Their interest is at stake. And that is why they invade. Now, Putin invaded Ukraine because what was going on there, Russia's interest was at stake. But we don't hear that. We don't hear that. We only hear that Ukraine is a wonderful nation. Ukrainians don't deserve that. How much Ukrainians died. And we don't hear it on both sides of the spectrum. We don't hear why it was so, you know, because I'm pretty much sure, you know, Putin didn't just invade like that. There is a reason why. There's always a reason why things happen. So we have to hear it on both sides and we make a judgment. But no, the Western powers label Putin as a monster and Zelensky as the angel. And this is what our dear sister is saying. This is unfair. This is unfair. You know, everyone deserves to be treated with dignity and respect. This is the reason why you have elected me as your president, to bring stability and peace, you know, on both sides whenever there's a conflict. So why is it you only interested about one side? You only favoring one side and you're not interested about the next side. You have totally cut off the next side from, you know, from voicing their concerns. You know, you have not given them a voice. So guys, you know, it's really hypocrite when it comes to the Western powers, when it comes to all these issues. So guys, I'm proud of this woman, and I'm very much guys, I'm really proud. This woman deserves a medal. Yeah, she deserves a medal. So guys, take care. Until next time, we will see again.